I'm Erin Weber with ErinsLunchbox.com. Today we're going to make some pressure cooker bone broth. And this is great when you don't have a ton of time, or maybe it's hotter weather, you don't want to leave your stove on for 24 hours. My go-to is my pressure cooker. I can cook the stock start to finish in 75 minutes. I make a lot smaller batch, and it's just a lot more manageable. So I think my pressure cooker is one of my favorite tools. It's just such a good thing. So what I've got here is I went to my favorite market, the Hollywood Farmers Market on Sunday, talked to my friend Greg over at Rocky Canyon. He's got a great selection of grass-fed beef, pastured chicken, and some really happy, humane pork. And so I get most of my meat products from him. A little bit of meat on it, a little bit of fat, but what I want is some bone. Because what we are looking for is the gelatin at the end of the day with our broth. The gelatin is extremely healing to our gut lining. The bone broth, I kind of think of it as nature's sports drink. So it's got loads of amino acids. It's great for you after you work out. I drink it just right out of my mug. Try to have it at least once a day. And it's also great for your digestion. I have another nice little piece. This one's got a little bit more meat on it. And I get some chicken feet, which adds in extra gelatin. It doesn't give it a chickeny flavor or anything like that. It just gives it that extra gelling ability. So we're going to bust these open. We're going to pop them in the pot, cover them with some filtered water, and add a little bit of salt. And then we're going to get going. Chicken feet are a great tell to let you know if your farmer's being honest about how they raise their chickens. Because if they have a bunch of calluses all around on their feet, it means they've been on concrete. They haven't been living in the grass. They haven't been poking around in the cow poo-poo and other things, doing what chickens love to do. Now we've got our joints. So this is actually a great meaty piece. And this was $5 a pound, but I could even simmer this up, pull this meat off, and turn it in soup for dinner. We could brown this if we wanted a darker stock. I'm cool with lighter stock. I drink it out of a mug all day. I don't need it to be like drinking gravy every single day. So there we go, into our pot. This piece is a little bit different. We've got a nice joint there. I think it's probably the knee. So all that connective tissue in between, this is a really nice, going to make a nice stock. This stuff's going to melt down. It's going to enrich our broth. We've got the marrow right there, and that's considered like one of the sacred foods, very nourishing. So we're going to throw that in the pot, cover it with some filtered water, add a little bit of salt, because I always salt at the beginning, and get rolling. So instead of just whacking on the lid of the pressure cooker and going to town, first bring it to a boil, and we're going to skim all that good stuff off. So I turn it down a little bit because it is kind of going crazy. And just get all the impurities and the coagulated blood and everything that's come to the surface off our stock so it's nice and crystal clear. So we got almost all the gunk, getting the edges really good, even sometimes giving like the bones a little tap. Because sometimes like little pockets of blood will be stuck underneath and they'll come running to the surface. We're going to put the lid on, bring it up to pressure. So here we go. Adding the lid, pushing down nice and firmly, closing it up, locking it, and then making sure we're on the right setting. It's on the little dial where it comes to pressure, and I keep it angled this way just in case it does release pressure. It releases pressure from right here. So steamy hot water will go this way instead of, say, in any passerby. So we are going to kick it up just a wee bit. We'll know when it's up to pressure when this little yellow knob lifts up, and from then we're going to set the timer for 75 minutes and we'll be good. So you've got our pressure cooker bone broth. It's been bubbling away. It is all finished, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. When it's off, the pressure can fall naturally, but it'll take about 10 minutes or so. We'll probably just run some cold water over the top of it so the pressure comes down really quick. But the tip is, don't do that when you're cooking meat in your pressure cooker. Otherwise, it's going to get tough. It's going to pull all the moisture out of it. Perfect. So now we are not under pressure anymore. The thing is it's still boiling. So it's super hot still. So we're going to unlock it and just carefully open it on a level surface so it doesn't come splashing out at us. There we go. And good to go. We're going to strain it out and we're going to chill it down nice and safe, nice and quick. The bones are going to be soft enough where we can pretty much poke a finger through them. They're going to be soft and amazing, which means all the goodness is now in the liquid. So watching out not to splash anybody. There we go. And we'll just put this to the side. All right, so we are just chilling down our pressure cooker bone broth. I made a water bath, so I filled my sink up, added a bunch of ice to the level of the broth, and now I've used my trusty frozen water bottle, stainless steel, to put right in the broth to let it come down to temperature. We're going to let it cool in the fridge and let the gel set and let the fat come to the top, which we'll just skim off and save that for cooking. I have here some finished bone broth that I made last night. I let it cool down and I took the fat off. So this is how I like to enjoy my bone broth, really simple. I use it in my cooking and I reduce it down. If I want to make it kind of more gravy style, I would have browned the meat first, but this is a nice light one. And I just have it warmed up. Got my little glass. I like to just kind of sip on it, and it'll be cool enough to drink when it's cool enough to hold. It's pretty good. I like a nice light bone broth, not too dark, not like gravy. I'm just going to put in some fresh thyme from my garden, a little bit of sea salt, and just a little bit of garlic that I'm just going to grind on my microplane. It's the nature sports drink right here. So we could use it for a soup or just drink it as is. Healing our gut. There we go.